What's going on, guys? This is Snoop603 and Fake Thriller, and welcome to another episode of our Battlefield 3 weapon reviews. Today, we're looking at the M417. The M417 is available for the Recon class only. It is unlocked after completing the assignment called Team Player, which requires you to get 10 tugs assists and 20 flag captures.
A little bit of weapon info for you on the M417. The country of origin is Germany. The magazine capacity is 20 rounds plus one in the chamber. The fire rate is 295 rounds per minute. The fire type is semi-automatic. The reload time is 1.85 seconds with a bullet chambered, or 2.4 seconds if you run the magazine completely dry. And the damage for the M417 is 50 hit points of damage per bullet out to 15 meters, and trails down to a minimum of 37.5 hit points of damage per bullet at 40 meters.
The M417 is the new marksman rifle that comes from the Close Quarters DLC, and to say that it is impressive would be a gross understatement. Dealing out an incredible 50 hit points of damage out to 15 meters and 37.5 hit points of damage out to 40 meters makes this gun a wrecking machine anywhere on the battlefield. With that high close range damage, you can take down enemies in 2 shots, making this gun the exception to what we've always said about guns in Battlefield 3, that fire rate reigns supreme. You don't really need to worry about the fire rate with such devastating close range power. Long range, it doesn't get much better than the M417. While the vertical recoil is fairly significant and does require a slow and steady trigger finger, the patience is rewarded with a very high long range damage, making the M417 a 3-shot kill from anywhere. I found the M417 to shine where anyone would expect, in the medium to long range. It took me a little while to train myself to slow down my shots, but my efforts were rewarded with quicker kills and less ammo wasted. But being a run and gunner to the core, I found the M417 to be just as devastating when engaging enemies at their feet. Taking advantage of the hipfire accuracy, I was able to easily outpower most of my opponents, regardless of what they were using, with the exception of shotguns. While fire rate does usually win out in this game, you still need to maintain a relatively good accuracy to make it effective, and it will require 3 to 5 shots on target depending on what gun you're using. Only needing 2 shots on target with the M417 gives you a huge advantage. Going through what attachments I unlocked, I will definitely not recommend the suppressor. I personally found that it effectively killed the accuracy of the M417, and it went from being an incredibly potent and accurate weapon to nothing special whatsoever. My preferred attachments are the reflex red dot sight, the bipod, and the laser sight. This combination of attachments truly allows me to cover the battlefield from end to end. I'm going to give the M417 a 5 out of 5. The only characteristic of this gun that is a bit of a concern is the vertical recoil. When you fire this gun, the whole thing jumps a mile. But with a calm and patient hand, you can easily work around that and terrorize and dominate your enemies from anywhere on the battlefield.
The M417 seems to be the new go-to marksman rifle for the Recon class, and for good reason too. Before the Close Quarters DLC released, there was no arguing that the SKS was the dominant mid to long range weapon for the Recon class. The M417 is looking to challenge the SKS for the top spot, and it does a very good job in the matchup. The M417 sports a higher maximum damage, making it a 2-shot kill within 15 meters. It also retains a high minimum damage, meaning at most you'll only have to hit your enemy 3 times. With these single fire rifles, that goes a long way. The fire rate of the M417 is slightly less than that of the SKS, but is still adequate for up-close trigger spamming. The reload time is blazing fast compared to any weapon in the game, and the ammo capacity per magazine is high enough to take out several enemies without needing to reload. I would recommend using the M417 from mid-range, doing your best to provide support for your team from a distance, dealing out heavy damage per bullet and letting your team clean everyone up. That being said, I would still recommend using a non-zoomed sight. I personally prefer the Cobra sight because the vertical line on the sight helps me predict the heavy vertical recoil of the M417. I'm giving the M417 a 4 out of 5. It's a wicked powerful weapon that can easily rack up the kills when used properly.
Alright guys, it's going to wrap up yet another Shustybang Battlefield 3 weapon review. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Overall, the M417 has earned a 4.5 out of 5 stars.
And as always, we're interested to know what you guys think of this weapon, so leave us a comment down below and tell us what you would rate it and why. Also, if you could rate the video with either a like or a dislike, we would appreciate it. Finally, if you're interested to see what we think of the other weapons in Battlefield 3, check the description for a link that will take you to the entire playlist. Thanks for watching. If you're looking for a little bit more Shustybang in your internet, be sure to follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/snoop603 and twitter.com/fakethriller. In addition, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Shustybang. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitch TV so you can catch up with all our live streams in the future. twitch.tv/fakethriller.